Hello everyone, my name is Bailey Brown. I'm a reporter with the Eagle newspaper. Today I'm joined by College Station City Councilwoman Linda Harvell. Thank you so much, Ms. Linda,
Well,
for
thank you
being
for
here.
inviting me. This is fun.
Yes, thank you. Today we are starting a Women in Leadership series, which is to highlight women in the city of College Station and the city of Bryan, all of Brazos County, who are in leadership roles, and give them an opportunity to share and enlighten everyone on the ins and outs of their roles and what it's been like to do that as a woman in today's time. So, Ms. Linda, again, thank you so much. Can you tell me about what you do in your current role as councilwoman and how long you've been doing it?
Well, I'm in my 6th year, and I will be terming out in 2024. So it's just been an amazing journey. The main thing is to make sure we're doing everything right for the city and for the residents. We focus on policy, so we don't get involved in the day-to-day micromanagement of the city. So being able to select those policies that help our citizens, help our taxpayers, help our students, help our businesses. That's what we focus on and what is best for the city. It's been a real journey. Before I ran for city council, like so many people, I didn't know all of the background, what went into some of these policy decisions. And now that I'm on the other side of the dais, it's like, holy moly, I had no idea. And so just that revolving knowledge has just been amazing, and hopefully it's helped benefit the city.
Absolutely, I'm sure it has. I mean, 6 years worth. My goodness. What made you want to serve?
I've been a volunteer for decades. I was on a school board. You may have heard of the no pass, no play rule for high school athletics. That came from my school board. And I was the only female on the school board, and there were 4 of us that said, you know, kids, you got to pass your grades before you can play Friday night football. There were 3 of us that said, no, we don't care about grades, it's all about football. And then one of us died. And so for months we had a locked situation. Finally went to the Texas Education Agency. This was back in the 80s, and then the state legislature passed it that following year. So, you know, so having that kind of a early role, but I've always been involved one way or another, either in my corporate career, through my volunteerism. And I don't think of it as being a leader. I just think of this is what I would like to do.
Absolutely. I love that mentality. And I know you mentioned to me previously you attended Texas A&M.
I
So
did.
Tell me about that journey.
I was one of the first girls at A&M. So back in the day, this was in 1966 through 69. We were not accepted there for the most part. You know, I had professors tell me, it doesn't make any difference what you make, you're going to flunk because you don't belong here. I had students who didn't want girls there that would rush ahead of us and slam the doors in our faces. So, you know, it was just, that was just the way it was. And it was for us local girls, we lived at home. There were no apartments, no dorms, no nothing. So it was an opportunity for us to get our education there in, you know, in College Station. But it really prepared me for the corporate world because I went into the travel industry, which way back in the day was very much of a male-dominated industry. And so I really wasn't intimidated by much. I'm still not. And I don't bully either because of what I dealt with in my early years. So, and I've got some great stories to tell, but you know, it's just, it was such a period of time. And you know, we didn't think about discrimination, did not occur to us. That's just the way it was. But as you can turn to see now, you know, A&M has what, more girls than guys, and it's a you know, a wonderful university for everybody.
Absolutely. Do you feel that you had to build some thicker skin, especially starting out in that environment, which I'm sure might have been could be unsettling at
Absolutely.
times? And can you tell me just a little bit about that?
Well, and once again, didn't realize that's what we were doing, but it was a matter of sticking up for ourselves. My girlfriends and I that were going to A&M, you know, we just were trying to do what was best for us as being such a minority. And so dealing with the graduate students, who often, help with the professors, dealing with the professors themselves, the environment, we had to stand up for ourselves because nobody was standing up for us. And so I don't think we thought of it as developing a thicker skin. It was just what we were doing to get by in our daily routines and going to classes. I was the only girl in every single class I ever went to at A&M.
Did you feel a push to just excel that much further because of that, or anything that stemmed from that, or you were just, I'm going to school and doing what I need to do? It really, like you're saying, wasn't that mentality of, well, I'm, the only female here, I need to be a superior mindset type.
Never gave it a thought. I don't think my girlfriends did either. We were going to school. We were there to get our education. Our parents could afford to send us to A&M because we were living at home. So I don't think we had any kind of a mindset of needing to excel. We just wanted to get out of there. And then it was actually the next year that they kind of opened it up more to the girls. But
you paved the way.
Well, like I told you, we had a great social life. It was like 500 guys to every girl. I mean, you always had something to do.
Yeah.
And ironic and amazingly, I'm still friends with so many of my Aggie friends today. One's was a Yell leader a couple of years ahead of me at A&M, and Michael Beggs, and just having those relationships decades later, they were the ones that accepted the girls. They didn't have an issue with us. But it's just the way it was. We didn't make a big deal out of it. It was just the way it was.
Wow, thank you so much for sharing that. So tell me, what motivates you to keep going, and maybe do you have anyone in your life who's really encouraged you along the way thus far in your journey?
My family moved to College Station in 1954. My late husband and I renovated my childhood home. I can see Kyle Field from my front door. The house has been in my family since 1954. And it's in College Park, which is the oldest neighborhood in College Station, on the south side. And back in the 90s, when the city allowed the developers to come in and start tearing down all of these family homes and putting up ag shacks, my mom and Marion Pugh's widow, Helen Pugh, and other residents started lobbying City Hall, please protect our neighborhoods. And they were ignored. And, so it became just kind of like something that she just lived and breathed, trying to save the neighborhood. Well, when Russ and I moved back to College Station and renovated, my childhood home, and then seeing that this development was continuing without any respect for the permanent homeowners, that's when I decided to kind of carry on my mom's torch, and didn't mean to get involved the way I am today. It just happened. I was appointed to the Historic Preservation Committee. I thought maybe I can do something there. I was chairperson of the city's 75th anniversary. And then there was just something that was like, we've got to make a difference here. We've got to see what can we do. I'm not a special interest person. I don't have any, I'm not into the development industry, real estate industry, anything like that. I'm just trying to protect the neighborhoods. Well, that initiative actually finally went all across the city, the older neighborhoods. People started standing up and speaking for their neighborhoods. And so, I think it was just kind of a motivation because I'm from here.
So you explained that perfectly, your motivation, and of course your mom. I love that.
Yeah.
I love that so much. Wow, thank you for sharing that. So where in your journey have you felt support as a woman in a leadership role?
I have to say, I've never been the type of person that has said, I'm a woman, that type of thing. When I was elected, all 3 times to the city council, I don't think I was elected because I was a woman. I think it's because the voters liked my platform and liked what I stood on. So I have never used that as a tool to get ahead. Or to make a point or anything like that. I just don't think about it. And I know that it's very prominent today, the first woman. That's not important. My first couple of years, I was the only woman on the College Station City Council. I didn't feel intimidated by the